Hi there everyone, thanks to my new subscribers. This is Taurus for the month of January 2020. I have pulled the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands and the Page of Wands. If this reading resonates, please like, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box. I get the impression here that at the beginning of January, Taurus is taking no prisoners. I feel that you must have to be business-minded at the beginning of January. But also, I feel you're shutting your heart down to matters. So you're cutting out individuals and circumstances that no longer serve you. I feel from this card that you must have had to deal with a lot. And so you've really just shutting down your heart chakra. You're focusing on yourself, you're focusing on your own passions, you're focusing on being devoted to yourself, you're focusing on your loyalties. You're focusing on your inner circle at the beginning of January. I feel that you could have trouble with a difficult woman at the beginning of January. A very sharp witted woman, but I feel that you'll have your guard up, like you'll be able to handle it because you'll just shut you down to whatever's happening. I don't think you'll be too interested in what's happening in that respect. I feel it has a lot to do with your experience. When I see this card, it makes me think of a person that's had enough experience to understand what it is they want to deal with and what it is they don't want to deal with. It's like a very streamlined energy. And sometimes it can be perceived as cold, but I don't feel that. I feel the defensiveness is justified when I see this card. I see somebody who has doesn't suffer fools anymore, but had suffered a lot of fools. So it feels to me like you're just stopping the rot. So I feel that you feel it's best to keep yourself independent of people and circumstances and decisions. You seem to be prepared to answer back or to do something back, but you're not inclined. I don't feel you'll be inclined at the beginning of January. So that tells me if you're a business person, you'll be dealing with some prickly issues. If you're in a personal situation, you'll be closing your heart down to a lot of situations, because I feel that you're just trying to protect your own sanctity now. Protect your the loyalty and the circle that you feel comfortable in. Like, I feel that you're trying to keep a calm space for yourself at the beginning of January. You really don't want to be fighting monsters, but you're prepared to. And that's across a lot of different areas. It's not just one area. It's a lot of different areas or aspects of your life. You could also receive communication or communicate with others, or have to communicate with others around that time. I just feel you're somebody who's shutting down their heart chakra at the beginning of January to deal with logical based issues or tough issues, difficult issues actually. So it tells me very clearly here that isn't going to be a focus on your money, there isn't going to be a focus on your career, but all of these aspects kind of are interwoven. So I feel that in terms of relationships, if you're single, you're not open to a relationship at the beginning of January because you're reflecting on basically what you've had to deal with throughout your life, and you're protecting your own heart. And I feel this energy will stop you from seeking out new love. But there are opportunities, like very sudden opportunities. And for some Taurus, there will be like a handsome man around. Or if you're single, and which will be quite shocking to you. But I feel that, I don't feel you're open to him, but maybe in the middle of January you'll be more open. And if you're a male, looking for a female, I feel that you're really focused on your independence. So by the middle of January, if you're a male seeking a male, you could meet a fire sign. But the problem with the energy in January for Taurus is the independence, the very deep-seated level of independence that you feel in your life, and the approach that you're taking in respect of different aspects of your life. So I feel you're being really tough. In the middle of January, if you're looking for a job, it's a good time to look for a job. But I really feel, and it's a good time for your career, because you seem to fire up in the middle of January. You have something to say then. I feel that you're keeping a lid on it at the beginning of January, but by the middle of January, you've just decided to handle things. Because I feel that there's a fire in you that's rising up. And even though you want to be done with a lot of difficulties, the fighter in you tends to come to the fore when there are difficulties. So I feel that's going to happen. I feel you won't be able to help yourself. By the middle of January, you will be taking control of situations. You will be telling people what's what. And you'll be really focused on money matters then. Your monetary status or your savings should be going well in the middle of January. There is that possibility that you could meet a fire sign. But again, because I feel your heart's going to melt a bit by then. So you're going to be very attracted to a fire sign. I don't get the impression you're going to love it up. You might pash it up or something. It's a possibility. He'll be really athletic and handsome. But he comes across as quite fresh. He's a mature person, but something about his mannerism is fresh, or his I don't know. The conduct of his affairs is fresh. So you take control of that. I feel you're going to take control of that situation. You're going to take control of the attraction. You're going to take control of business affairs. You're going to take control of your career. You're just really focused on leadership in the middle of January and money. Because I feel you tell this person what's what, and they have to basically take a seat. So by the end of January, Taurus will be focused, I feel, on children. Could be your own children, grandchildren, just kids. But also I feel like there's you know, this energy where you wanted to detach changes. So you become more actively involved in affairs again in your own life, in how you respond to others in the workplace and in your personal life. And you basically turn the elephant into a mouse. So you're going to, or the pumpkin into a mouse. You're going to tell people what's what in the middle of January, and that problem's going to be reduced in size. Because I feel that you have a lot of experience and you have a very sharp mind, and you know what it is you need to do to take, to forward your affairs. So I feel like you aren't very progressive at the beginning of January. You're trying to detach, but it becomes kind of an impossibility because the people you're dealing with are quite fresh. So maybe they just don't have the same level of experience as you, and you have to take control of the reins across every aspect of your life. But also, I feel that you're really focused on being friendly towards, to not putting too much on people at the end of January. I feel that, there's probably going to be messages that you send, messages that you receive, but that level of control kind of diminishes. Like you start to remember that you want to detach, but you just you just loosen the reins a bit. I don't think you're going to go all out. But by the end of January, you're going to have your own way because you really know how to take control of the situation if you need to, and I feel that will be your focus. There could be some opportunity for travel in the middle of January in the end. But all of that will be successful. Because I feel like there's this huge separation. There's this huge separation between you and the people in your life and your career, or this feeling of it, or this notion of it. And then that huge separation reduces. So if you're a person, a lover in separation, then you could receive a message from your person who I feel is away from you, at a distance to you. The other thing is that you could reduce the size of the problem that you're dealing with at the beginning of January. So I feel it's just about negotiating for Taurus, negotiating different aspects of their personal life. Taurus really wants to detach in January. They're a bit done with karmic cycles or any type of cycle. But I feel that January is about reminding you that you are still a living person, because Taurus, I feel, has gone through a lot, but sometimes they get to the point where they've had enough, and the beginning of January, you just trying to cut everything that's a bit excessive out of your life. But I feel that by the end of January, you're reminded of your physical obligations and you take charge again. So it's really about maybe dying inside but then coming to life. And I feel that's beneficial because it means that by the end of January you will have a renewed sense of hope. and you'll be able to move forward again after deciding what it is you want in your life and what you don't want. Okay, that was January for the month of for the Taurus 2020. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal, my details are in the description box. See you next time.